So, in this moment, this is like carrying on from the last video, kind of, sort of. But I had to sit and talk to my sons, mainly my oldest one. Older one, he's getting older. He definitely done hit his double digits, but he ain't, he's not a teenage, he's not even, well, I mean, I guess it's considered preteen, but not necessarily. But I had to talk to him about some stuff because he has some ways about himself, and I already know he definitely got it from me and his so-called dad. But, then I was reminded of how, hold on, I just answered that call, but I put it on mute. I'm just trying to see what they're gonna say. But, of course they hung up. Anyway, um, I was just reminded of how before the boys' so-called dad's mom died, she had mentioned to me, she was like, yeah, my son is weird or whatever. It was already, oh, it was already late in the game because I done already had two kids with him by that time. I'm thinking to myself, okay, he can be weird all he wants to, but he not finna be disrespectful to me. I don't really give a damn what he got going on, what kind of weirdo he is. Maybe I just feel like somebody remedial and handicapped can get popped in their mouth and probably learn to, you know what I'm saying, not do all that crazy stuff they had going on, but that he was doing. But yeah, but anyway, his main thing, he was calling me out of my name, was always calling me the B the B word. It's definitely not funny, but he was just always calling me the B word. And I told her, I said, he just keep calling me out my name and this, that, and the third, and she was like, oh, he didn't get that from me. She said, I don't cut, I don't use, no, she said, I don't use that word. She didn't say I don't cuss. I'm like, oh, okay, well, really don't give a damn who he got it from, but he's not going to just be sitting there comfortably saying it. I mean, people mouth can say what they want, but he's not going to sit up close and personal with me and think he's going to keep calling me that. So I said, I said, so I told her, I said, I'm just basically sending that back to your household or whatever. You can, and then if I send it to you, then you could do what you gonna do with it, do properly with it, whoever it came from, send it right on back. But, and I mean, I had a hunch that his so-called dad would do that, but I heard his so-called dad, say some other stuff before Queen and other stuff or whatever. Now, and again, not that his so-called dad didn't. I feel like his so-called dad more so felt like females was bees, but I mean, I'm sure he said it too. But well, I'm almost positive he said it. But anyway, so some of that stuff just tried to show up in my sons, not to, not to be. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Did my son reference me as being a bee? I don't know, but just some other stuff where my son feels weird. He thinks differently. He has a different way of thinking that I think is very unique, but it is kind of, you be like, boy, what? Why are you talking about that? Why are you thinking about that? Why does that matter to you? That's how I be feeling. Everybody might not feel like that. Some other people might really, like, I really think it's unique, but some other people might off the top be like, oh, that's a creative way to think of things, and they could encourage him in a different way, which that's what I want for his life. But me as mom, I'd be like, oh, you just try to raise them a certain type of way, and you expect it to look a certain type of way, and it just don't. It comes out, something else, quirky, and that's just how I kind of describe it. And again, I have my quirky ways and stuff. And I have very similar ways to my son, to all my kids, but to my son specifically. And And so, I just be trying not to be hard on him. 'Cause I'm like, as much as I think he got certain stuff from his so-called dad, he definitely got stuff from me. And I'm like, ugh. And of course he's in the house, so he watches me, he observes me, or he hears me and stuff like that, and he picks up what the language that I use. And and so some of the stuff that I say to my younger son, he tries to say, it ain't it ain't really no different than if when I had my little girl and she pick up stuff that I would say to them and just try to, what I'm saying, they're just mimicking what you do. But I'm like, you need to understand you're his brother, I'm his parent. It's different roles. And I said, um, I was just trying to correct him on some stuff or whatever. But that's that right there. And it's not too. I'm gonna say it doesn't feel like it's too much, but because I'm the only parent that's doing it, it just feels like, of course, it's off balance, and it's almost feels like you're not getting anywhere because they need the voice of that man, that male, that's supposed to be telling them right from wrong and stuff like that, and directing them on how to do stuff. So it is, yeah, it gets on my nerves at times, having to keep saying it over and over and over. Um, but we are pushing through. I'm pushing through. It's trying to wear me down and stuff like that, which, hey, it is what it is. I don't really think parenting is designed to be wearing you down. I really think it's wearing you down or weighing you down. I really think it's designed to, be uplifted and encouraging in most aspects. I think you might, when you're a parent, you definitely should feel a little strain, just a little slight, you know what I'm saying, because of the world we live in. If it was a perfect world, of course, it's like, we wouldn't feel nothing. It'd be nothing. And there was points in time where it felt like, oh, this is nothing. I could do this. I'm good. Even with 3. Boy, today, y'all asked me today? Oh my goodness, it's different. It's big different. Nah, but for real though, it's different. And it's like, ooh, feeling more than a little strain, and and it's not stressful, thank God for that. Well, I don't feel like it's stressful, but you know what, it really could be taking a toll on my body as far as being stressful, and my mental health and everything else as far as being stressful. But I just love and adore my kids, and I'm just so grateful that God allowed me to be their mom. I want them to get to a point where they're thankful for me, but I'm thankful for them, and I want to actually be leading by that example. So then, if they ever get to that place, I'm not saying that they're not or they don't feel grateful for me, uh, but have that gratitude. Um, I poured into them and, kind of trained them on that. But yeah, that tried to bother me because I didn't want to stop and talk to my son about that, about something that I talked to him about before. Being dismissive of his brother, being disrespectful, being rude to the point where it becomes disrespect. And then just, stop treating him like you don't want to be treated. I say, what if you come in here and I do the same thing to you? Would you want to be treated like that? We always go over this every time. He says no. I'm like, I should start asking, do you really mean yes? Because you keep doing that to him. And every time I ask you the same thing, you say no, but, So, right now I'm feeling tired. Oh, I'm not feeling tired. I just feel a little way down. My stomach, I got pains in my stomach on both sides, the left and the right. Feels like ligament pains, like something is like pulling. But it could be food, it could be gas. Honestly, I got gas right now, but I don't know if that's gonna relieve the little pains that I'm feeling. Then I haven't not came on my cycle. Don't like that, don't care for that, cause not that I'm doing anything, not that I'm being active or anything. Like, I'm not on no birth control. I took birth control and all that for years. Well, I'm not on no birth control because I'm definitely not being active with anybody. Um, so I just But it's just, it concerns me because I'm like, I want my natural flow like a woman, and, I definitely want to be able to have more kids if I so choose and stuff like that. But, honey, some of that stuff you do in your early days, you can really permanently sterilize yourself. I'm not saying that's my case, but you can sterilize yourself. And, like, honey, I've been waiting on my period since February, I guess. I don't know. I don't think it came on in March. And we getting ready to be in June, so that's about 3 months. And now, my my daughter came and she patted my stomach like I'm pregnant. I said, "Girl, I'm just fat. Who's not pregnant at all." And I don't really have no shame about it because I know I've been eating good, but I do feel a type of way like I need to lose some weight. Um, what else did I need to say about that whole situation? Like, I don't know. I admire my younger son too. I love him. He's very, very sweet. He definitely is kind to me. He say little stuff, honey. He'll talk about me being fat, and I had to tell him after the 100th time or 1,000th time he even said it. I said, okay, now I know I'm fat. I know I'm big, but you know, these little fat comments gotta go. Or, I wouldn't want him saying that to just anybody over and over and over. Make your point and move on. But he's really sweet. He always says, I want to come and hang out with you. Just in my room. He's the one that wants to come in there and be with me. And I'm grateful. Then times he'll want me to come out there with him or, do a little stuff with him. But this is how we live, and I still feel discouraged because I'm like, oh my God, why can't I have a man? I've had a male here before. I've had a quote unquote N word, as they call him, I guess. Why can't I have my man here, and that man I want to be a man to me, a father to my kids, and doing right, and just helping me in these times of need, because I really, especially with I was trying to put the solar heating pads up today on the pool and I just couldn't grasp it like that. Like my mind just definitely is focusing on my kids in the pool, paying attention to them and stuff like that, and I just couldn't like like I didn't get it accomplished like I wanted to. I want the pool to be heated and stuff like that. I'm glad I got the pool up and running and stuff like that, but I don't know, man. This was too much going on. Still paying attention to my surroundings, again, feeling targeted, feeling like all the net, feeling like, and somewhat knowing that most or enough of the try to target me, try to come for me. And I don't want to get to the point where I'm like, oh Lord, where's the attack or target gonna come from next? Who else is gonna try it? And just use my energy to have to even go there, And it's supposed to be community and neighborly and neighborhood. No, honey. Not since I've been over here, not the whole time. Ain't been nothing too neighborly about these people when I thought it was. It was something totally different. They were on some other stuff. And, yep, even on this day, even though I see my daughter and interact with her, I'm still missing my daughter, still thinking about her. Again, I said earlier, just trusting that her day, these last few days of school go well. And that whatever the enemy has, think he got planned, that it return to him null and void. Any, of course, no weapon formed against her shall prosper, but any types of attacks and things you think you're trying to take up regarding my kids and stuff like that, in the house and out, you know, it's canceled, and it's like they say, return to the sender. Backfired, Satan, the Lord rebuke you. Cause I am a mama bear, and that's what's got me feeling tired too. Or I'm not even sleepy tired. I'm just like, feel like I feel okay to lay here, but not to like keep. And that don't mean that I can't. I can actually get up, but just don't. Yeah, it just feels so like, oh God, can I just? This is the time when I have peace, so let me just have that. And so that's that or whatever. But yeah, then I got this other device so I could get on here and like so I want to look up these dreams and stuff that was on or well, was it dreams? It could be dreams, but it also could be notes. Well, in about a minute or so or less, I'll be able to do it. Because I was talking about my daughter so-called. I'm not trying to say I'm talking bad about her, but it is what it is. I wasn't talking good about her either. But yeah, the dreams and stuff that might have included my daughter's so-called grandma and stuff like that. Like even before she left the house, maybe. It might just give me some type of other indication. And I just read one from last year. And it was where I was asking her where that phone is and stuff like that, and don't bring it here or something like that. So it's the accuracy for me, and I'm just thankful. But baby, you can be accurate and you laid on your back or you laid on your stomach. I'm laid prostrate right now, and just like somebody told me before, you want your virtue and stuff to be restored, and I know it ain't gonna be nothing like before I gave it away or whatever, but my kids, and of course, a good old man, a good old God-fearing man. I feel like it will be everything right now. Give me a little drink, a little sippy sip. No, stop. But yeah, okay, so let me go over here and see. And then somebody got their music bumping and thumping out there. Oh, and then no, no. I was saying I got a nerve, and it's not even on here. This is getting on my nerves. I don't even know the password for my daughter's old email. I really don't. I think I recently changed it. Oh, never mind. I'm signed in. So with that, I just gotta put the name in, and guess what? Guess how many will pop up? No, I only see 4. How amazing. Okay, so from May the 7th, oh Lord, that infamous day, 2019, 6:40 a.m. Saw so many things last night. One was where my daughter's so-called dad caught up to me and my children, and he was in. I forgot about some of this stuff. He was in, but now it comes back to me once I start reading it. This kind of makes me perk up too, because it's like, girl, ain't you glad you wrote down these dreams and took notes so you could get the understanding, even of what's going on now? That you know, it was already like, you was already being shown some of this stuff years ago. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, y'all. I paused because my device started acting crazy. What? Hold on. So I'm tapping it, and anyway. Okay. Let me go back. So, May 7th, 2019. Of course, like I said, that's an infamous day to me. Okay, he caught up to me and my children, and he was in like a bathroom stall, pissing on, and it's what I used to refer to my oldest son as, which is his first name, but anyway, pissing on my son from behind, holding his arms back and kind of bending him over. My son's clothes were still fully on. And so I usually say when it's a dream about my sons, it could indicate or be something regarding their own so-called dad or whatever. Um, or it could be mine, but I really think it's more so their so-called dad. So I went over to catch the pee in my mouth. And instead and speak with authority and get my son. Then when we say my son, honey, they so-called daddy is not my son. But anyway. I'm sorry, I was feeling like Nicki Minaj for a minute. The input. Oh, then I put sanitizer in my mouth. Hallelujah. Try to make sure, honey. I made sure I didn't swallow pee nor sanitizer. This was the old location where I used to live when I was a child, which is the dream that I spoke about which is like the dream that I spoke about the other day, where I was sitting in there and he got in the door and he started shooting at the boys' so-called dad or whatever. So we was in that place trying to get away and hide out. Some guys were trying to intimidate us and blackmail us when I asked for help and for them to hide us. I told them I'd get them right, help them out at a later date. They were trying to say that my daughter was going to get fingered. I just took it as molested or deemed as a spy or informant. I don't know why I put that. And that I was too. I don't care. Baby, at this point, y'all not understanding. I'm saying that out loud. I really just do not care. Y'all all be watching, riding by, you know what I'm saying, going out y'all way to look. But anyway, and that I was too, and kind of trying to feel on her, like touch on her. Saw myself in different places. Some place with such and such. Definitely looked like a mansion. He was getting rid of someone for me. I'll take it. I'm just playing. Let me stop. Switching out and saying similar to what the boys' so-called dad said in one dream. I don't know what this is. Kim Kardashian only brought, he's saying like a female, I guess, that was like Kim Kardashian. Only bought certain things like a blackjack game or like a card game. He got rid of, that's what he was saying. She only, I'm trying to remember what was said by my boys' so-called dad. She only brought certain things. What did he say? I don't know. He got rid of her, put her out, but then I think I had a lot of whoop, none of y'all business, and did some sexual things with him. Reached out to, so this was the day I reached out to my daughter's so-called grandma on this same day, and I do kind of remember this. This was 3 years ago. It seemed like it was yesterday. And she offered help that she didn't necessarily want to give, but she did it. My so-called dad showed up when she was on her way, which was unexpected to me. Like, he just kept doing that, and I don't know, it just irked me, but that was part of his ways. But baby, okay, we gonna do something a little more orderly. And so I had words with him, I guess. Yeah, I did. Then the other female sat across the way and watched in the house. Then on that same day, my so-called mom had texted me that morning and she had said something about praying for us. Then I realized, that's why I called it an infamous day. It was somebody's birthday. Of course, that person's now deceased. I felt like they continued to try to celebrate and keep that person alive and relevant. Yeah, so anyway, her so-called grandma, she offered something or asked did I need something, and I said I did, but she didn't really want to, it wasn't something that she wanted, and it wasn't the way that she wanted it, then it wasn't going, or whatever. It wasn't going to be, the person ain't happy for you. Anyway, okay, so this was June the 1st, which is tomorrow. Hallelujah. This was a year ago tomorrow, 2021. My youngest son beat me on the walkie-talkie and said he smells his older sister, which is my daughter, and it's like a big crack or path to her, and he felt like she was in the front while he was in the back. Oh, I don't understand, but soon As soon as I went to say something back, I just went to prayer language and didn't reply to him. So I don't know what that is. Yesterday or earlier, I had a dream about getting the same food I got yesterday. Well, yeah, yesterday, and that I got my daughter, for her. And then today I got me some. And mind you, this was a year ago that this was going on. As I said, this gives me like some clarity and some stuff and even some feel good. Like I said, this perks me up a little bit because I'm like, oh, okay. And then today, okay, I got me some. It was great, but I'd rather be getting my daughter her own. I definitely miss my child. I really don't care what her dad feels and has felt because it was the way he has operated. And again, his mammy, I call her his mammy. Yeah, this made me decide to certainly keep a distance from the so-called grandma. I don't want no dealings with her, and that's okay. I just want my child. So left it at that. And so that's why when she came the other day, girl, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm not saying nothing to you. Enjoy your life, girl. Hope you can live with what you've done and stuff like that. Anyway, something doing. I just seen her face on the thing and I didn't mean to. But anyway, okay, this was May 27th, which was a day after my daughter came the other day. Yeah, she came on 26th. So May 27th, 2019, 5:40 p.m. Some dude with dreads, not familiar to me, trying to intimidate me, came in my house and set things on fire. Just lit a fire in the living room. Dark-skinned guy had already called the authorities prior to getting in. Me and the kids were sitting and this was in 2019. Me and the kids were sitting and then, hold on. Me and the kids were sitting and they were doing homework. And this is when I started to homeschool them, I think later on that year.